3 years later, Washington Sundar makes a grand return to the Indian cricket team. He ends up with 7 for 59 to ensure that yes, he's made a huge statement when you have to include him for future series. Every delivery that he bowled in the post-lunch session, every wicket seemed a trademark of Washington Sundar. Coming in, drifting in, straightening, no New Zealand batter had an answer. It was the Tamil Nadu boys who did very well on day one because Ravichandran Ashwin also chipped in with 3 wickets. But it was Sundar who walked away with all the accolades with 7 for 59 in an inspired spell of bowling. Now, it was Washington Sundar who came in for the press conference after the end of the day. He had already talked to the host broadcasters. He repeated the same thing that he had said to the host broadcasters even in the post-match press conference. What was the key factor in Washington Sundar suddenly coming back into the Indian team after 3 years and then putting in this kind of a performance? There was a game that he played prior to that. And in that he scored a century and also took wickets. The Ranji game. Now, it is this Ranji game which proved to be the ultimate turning point for Washington Sundar, because there he stated, great opportunity for me to play the Tamil Nadu versus Delhi game. Important to play red ball cricket consistently, helps in keep getting rhythm with both bat and ball. Got to bowl a lot of overs in that Ranji game which helped. So, on an absolute placid deck in Delhi, he managed to bowl a lot of overs and he also managed to score a century. Washington Sundar is a better bat than you can say a bowler. He's a batter who can bowl a bit. In that category he's in. But Sundar rose to prominence primarily because of his off spin. Now he had come into this match with plenty of criticism and outside noise because how could he keep someone like Kuldeep Yadav out? Kuldeep was the best bowler in Bengaluru for amongst the Indian spinners, but here he kept Kuldeep out and he got the backing. And in that backing, he really helped his cause brilliantly by taking 7 wickets. But the selectors saw something in the Tamil Nadu game which others might not have seen. So in the Ranji Trophy game, it once again highlights the importance. If you play domestic on a consistent basis, an India call-up is not far away. Many people in the past used to avoid the Ranji Trophy and play only the IPL. Now, under the current dispensation, luckily, things have changed and Jay Shah has taken a very stern view about this entire thing. So, Tamil Nadu versus Delhi, that Ranji game, if Washington Sundar has to remember what was the medium for which he came back in, this was it. 7 very good wickets. Maybe the dismissal of Glenn Phillips was the one wherein he played a poor shot. But every other dismissal after Will Young, when you look at it, he was simply sublime. What was his most favourite dismissal? He credits the Rachin Ravindra one. He states, Rachin Ravindra dismissal was a dream ball. I wanted to hit the right areas. There was something on offer for the spinners. It was important to be accurate. Look at the way how Sundar got the drift, dip and the spin. Rachin, who was settled and had played spin brilliantly in Bengaluru, came up short on this particular instance. So, Rachin Ravindra was undone by a peach of a delivery. Had he stayed on for another 1 hour or so, the game would have very well slipped away from India's hands rather. So, Sundar getting the wicket of Rachin Ravindra ensured New Zealand went into a tailspin. 7 wickets lost for 62. And because of that, India now are in a position where they can mount a comeback. But what changed? Because in the first session and even in the first hour, India were not getting that much of turn, grip, purchase. Conway and Rachin Ravindra were really playing well. They were milking the strike. They were rotating the field very, very well. Rohit Sharma again tactically seemed undone. But Ashwin, along with, if you look at it, Washington Sundar, they had a plan. Had to give more speed. That is what me and Ash talked about. He did that himself in the post-lunch spell. It is a great feeling to play Test cricket alongside him. Fantastic work indeed from Tamil Nadu, because he also credited that yes, working with Ashwin, it's really a great feeling to play Test cricket alongside him. Whenever I want ideas, whenever I want any kind of help, Ravichandran Ashwin is always there. Tactically, he spoke about how it was important for him to ensure that yes, this was vital, and all the plans that they had put through, the speed, the seam position that it had to be in, everything fell into place. So Washington Sundar in tandem with Ravichandran Ashwin ensured that India would bowl New Zealand out for 259 rather, and ensure that heading into day 2, India hold all the aces. So well done Washington Sundar. 3 years later, a big comeback. Fantastic stuff indeed. One hopes that he can nail that spot for a very long period of time. Thank you so much folks for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.